Welcome back from the break and welcome now to this particular segment. Thursdays are Awareness Thursdays, but today we are bringing something quite unique. And from the first time when I got to know what you're doing, I'm like, you know what? We have to have her on the show. So today we're going to be talking to either you as a person, but also a parent out there who has a child struggling with maths, yeah, or kubala in class. If it is a problem, we have just the perfect solution for you. Now, my next guest is a person whose nickname, really, I feel, yesterday I was thinking about you when I was thinking about hosting you, and I'm like, I think I could have used you in my time. In primary, I struggled a lot with math, but in secondary, I did not, to the point, because I did sub math, and it wasn't that bad, to the point that actually when I was moving from Form 4 to Form 6, I even thought about doing PAM, and they're like, girl, you realize there are credits here. If there were distinctions, probably, but these are but because I loved the subject so much, I was like, probably I need to go there. It does not work like that. So today I have Captain Math with me. She is a namesake. Her name is Stella, but I just want to use Captain Math. And how do we greet captains? Like this? Like how? How should I be to greet you? Because I have so much respect for the journey that he chose over 10 years ago. She was telling me how she did it, but I did not want to preempt the conversation. We have some people who have made guesses on the sound. I'll be getting into that much later on, but for now, let's get into the conversation of why people fear math and how we can deal with it. But for now, welcome to the show. How are you, Stella?
Thank you. I'm fine, thank you, Stella.
How was it?
It was awesome. It was a beautiful experience. There's so much to learn.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful to the whole Fulbright community.
You know, when the Bible says that your gift will make room for you, you are that representation, because you are telling me 10 years ago, you say after your teaching practice, you're like, you know what, I want to get into math tutoring. Why?
I saw so many learners struggling with mathematics. And you see the school is limited to timetables and what. You want to help, but you can't really help that much. You just have to do your lesson, maybe give learners some extra time, but the school program has to go on. But then I realized they also have time during holidays where I could support them. So I decided to focus on supporting learners in math privately. So that is when the journey began of adventure.
Yeah. You even have a book. I remember I was seeing you. Meanwhile, she wears a cape and she flies to
my book homes. Is just here.
We shall be getting the book, but I remember that you wear a cape and you continue flying. So how does this tutoring that you do work? Do you go to people's homes or do they come to you?
Okay, we keep on evolving.
Okay.
In the beginning, we used to run around in people's homes, and then later on we go to a central place where they bring their students, and then later on we even started finding them in school, and we also started doing teacher engagements, going and training teachers in this and that, and then now we even have online options, because when COVID came, there was some drama. You know what happened? Schools got closed, and I had to call my team. I told them, you know what, we are going to teach people on WhatsApp. So we had about 700 learners on WhatsApp.
Wow.
Before schools figured out what to do. We had classrooms. The different groups were like the classrooms. So those different groups were our classes. And then we supported the learners throughout that time until their respective schools figured out what to do. And then they joined their classes, because there had to be an option of being promoted. Yes, so that is when we started our online teaching journey, and then we ended up having UK students coming on board, and
they also struggle with math. I used to feel like it is an African problem.
Math is an international problem.
But let's talk about that problem. Why do you think should I say most of us struggle with that? Or, because I do not have the numbers, but you as a teacher, what has been your experience? Do you feel like more people fear it and perform poorly at it? Or do you feel like it is really a thing of who and where and what, because you may find that in some schools probably people perform better in math than any other subject. So
No, when it comes to mathematics, the fear has a cause.
okay.
It just doesn't come out of the blue. There is always that root cause. Now, sometimes there is that external pressure you have. Your parents expect something, your teachers expect something. So when you're under pressure, a lot of times you don't perform to your expectations.
Yeah.
So you find that your failure is coming from the point of pressure. Then there is also when you don't understand something and you don't really find out, maybe you're shy to ask, maybe you
Yes.
feel embarrassed. Now, at some point when things get difficult, you're going to find that you're struggling with, and with math, you keep on building at every level.
Okay.
Each level builds onto what you did in the previous one. So you're going to find that you're struggling simply because your foundation had a problem. And when you struggle, automatically, every time you see the math, fear sets in. You don't even want to deal with it. So that can cause the math fear. A lot of times they blend the math fear, anxiety, and self-doubt together in one bubble because they normally go hand in hand. It's very hard to find someone who fears math and is not anxious about it. So they usually go hand in hand.
Also, teachers, what do you think is the teacher's contribution towards either the failure or the success of a student? Because like I told you, in primary, I feared math, and I don't know how, but yeah, but I remember falling in love with math in my secondary. I loved it so much. Like I said, I was ready to take it on even for HSC. They couldn't allow me, but yeah, tell us, what is the teacher's contribution?
The teacher's contribution is two-way. The teacher can make you fall in love with math. The teacher it can be a disaster, because one of the things that also makes us fear math is the experiences we go through. Teachers also contribute to these experiences. So sometimes you just don't understand what the teacher is saying because of the accent. And you're lost totally.
Right.
Sometimes you just have a bad relationship with a teacher. If you don't like the teacher, you're not going to like what they're teaching you.
Right.
Your brain is just going to be like, look at her hair. You know? You're not going to really focus on what they're teaching. Sometimes, but I'm happy we are moving away from that as Ugandan. As Ugandan teachers, I'm happy we are moving away from that, but the harshness, there is a point where some teachers used to be so harsh to the point that learners think math teachers are the ones that beat the most, they're the ones that are
do
very
not skip
tough.
Lessons. It could be raining. English teacher will not come, but when you have math, that person will show up, and then you're like, and interestingly, of course, our parents paid for them to show up.
But show up with love.
Yeah, but they show up with our negatives and then you have to get some beating. I don't know if that still happens in schools though.
Maybe some schools, but now you see we are shifting from that. We are now looking more into inspiring learners, building their confidence. Now if you find a very exciting teacher who makes you fall in love with math, you're not going to fail. You're going to want to do math at HSC and they tell you, wait, no.
No.
First pause a bit.
Stella, just because.
You know, because you're so interested, the teacher has made you love it. So the teacher thing is two-way. But those experiences we go through, even the people before us spoil it. You know, there are people who come and tell you, you're in so-and-so's class, you're doomed.
Right.
And then they tell you, math, you wait and see. You are finished. So before you even start, your brain has already registered finished.
Yeah, this is done. It's going to be a long run from here.
There is no way you're going to not fear math as long as someone has already given you a heads up on what to expect.
Also, I wanted to find out from you, do you think all of us, all the students, let me not say all of us, but all the students can actually pass math? Or are there cases where you're like, that student, there is nothing? Have you ever tutored any student and you go to a place of, you know what, I know I am Captain Math, but even I can fail at this sometimes. This child or this group of people do not seem to get it.
I'm saying this with confidence. I believe everyone has the ability to do math. There is nothing like the math brain. Everyone has the brain to do math. Because now, if you put your mind onto doing something, you do it, right?
Yes.
I'm going to give an example. When these kids are given bicycles, don't they fall so many times but then still learn how to ride it?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Math, you can learn math the same way. You can fail it many times.
Yeah.
But as long as you're consistent, you'll eventually get it. So I believe everyone has the ability to do math.
Right.
You just need to be in the right environment and do the things you're supposed to do, and you'll be able to, and have the right attitude. Attitude is very important in this equation.
Key. I know. The other day I was saying that I hiked once. I hiked a mountain, and what I learned when I was hiking was how this played key. Before my body gave out, I can tell you my mind gave out
Your
first.
mind gave
yeah,
out.
I was like, why did I do this to myself? So when you say that the mind is important, I'm taken back to that moment, because I remember being so tired just by the negative talk that I was telling myself. But to talk about environment, and that is what I want to ask you about. You have created the environment. First of all, you tell us which environment you have created, but also it is only but on WhatsApp, on this kind of community. How about if your students have to go back into their other environment, into school, because this is just a side environment you have, community you have created for them. What happens when they have to go back to school now, and how do they get that experience affect whatever the environment is back in school or at home?
When it comes to the environment can be, and a learning environment is that place where learning is supported. Okay. So at home, I'll give a scenario. You allow your child have private learning space. If you live in a small house, they can still have private learning space. You don't make noise for them during the time they are learning. At school, I don't expect their noise. I don't expect noise at school when kids are learning. There are very basic things you can do to create a good learning environment.
Okay.
If you can, provide textbooks.
Okay.
If you can't provide textbooks, at least you know someone who has textbooks and can share.
Right.
That is being in the right learning environment, a place where learning is supported. Not this place whereby you can't even sit down for 5 minutes and do something serious with yourself.
Yeah.
So I believe most of the schools have the right learning environments, but the homes, someone is trying to concentrate here, so, and another one is watching Jim Jam or whatever they are watching.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's cooking
Cartoons,
going on with saucepans hitting them.
Saucepans, you know. Even if you live in a small house, you can create a conducive learning environment whereby even if it's 1 hour a day that your child has to themselves to do something serious, they should be able to fully concentrate without distractions.
Okay.
Yes. Though there are situations where you can't avoid distractions, especially for people living in the middle of the city, I mean.
Then the other issue that I'm looking at is, first of all, which ages do you look at in your tutoring? Do you have specific ages, or do you go all the way to the university? It's
basically the elementary age and the secondary age.
Okay.
Yes, but I've had a few students in first and second year university, not here in Uganda, but in Canada.
Okay.
I've interacted with students online who are struggling with calculus because they didn't do mathematics at A level, so they chose something they thought was completely arts, and then they reached their boom calculus, and they're doing a business course. So that is one thing I also keep encouraging learners to do. Math is something that will always catch up with you no matter where you go.
Yeah. And you know, we hear that a lot. So let me ask you, as a journalist, where has math caught up with me?
Do you go shopping?
Yeah.
Do you budget?
Yeah.
Thank you. Do you make decisions which one is a better thing to buy than the other? Thank you. That's math.
That's math. Interesting. I didn't think you're going to flip it on me that fast. So we are still here with Captain Math, and allow me call you that. I know.
Captain Miss Math.
Hey, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Captain Math is another one.
Okay, Captain Miss Math. Now, I wanted to ask you, because you also said that sometimes the teachers that we have, I remember back in school, all the schools I went to, from primary all the way to the university, the ones to do with literature, English things, they're always pretty, I don't know if you remember, they were always pretty. And we always passed. So I know this is like really a very, let me say, a low, below the belt kind of question. But let me ask, do you think looks at any one point have any contribution to what the child will perceive in class?
I would not say looks, I would say smartness.
Okay.
Presentation is key.
Okay.
But I think it is a basic human thing for us to be presentable.
Okay.
Anywhere
you, yeah.
Anywhere you go, you should be presentable. But there's always been this thing that science people, math people have to dress in a certain way, they be shabby, but it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
And I like this generation of teachers. They will show up and will show up very smart.
Very smart to that. See,
So,
I see that happening.
So it's a basic human thing that you have to be presentable at all times. You have to comb your hair, you have to have clean clothes on you, clean shoes.
Right.
It's a basic life thing.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a science teacher thing or a literature teacher thing. Yeah. And I got confused to be a literature student at Makerere. Because some people will be like, but I never see you in English and literature lectures. I tell them, no, I do math. I'm doing Bachelor of Science with Education. And they are so shocked. They're like, what? You don't seem to be. I ask them, what are the characteristics? Who qualifies and who doesn't qualify?
Shabby is the first one.
So those are stereotypes.
Yeah.
So you don't have to look a certain way to qualify successfully,
Yes.
to be doing science with education or arts with education.
And we've seen people, when you are put together, the way people welcome you in any space, whether it is in the bank or it is in the market even, but in the market when you're smart, it means
Overcharging.
and you do not dare speak English when you are trying to get a good deal even out of a border guy. It will not work.
You have to be flexible.
Yeah.
You have to be flexible, but you should be smart at all times. It doesn't matter where you are. Because my grandfather, rest in peace, my maternal grandfather was a teacher. You know the village setting, no electricity, just a tadova and what?
Yeah.
And they had these charcoal flat irons.
Yes.
You just put charcoal and then blow it and then you iron.
Yeah.
But he was always smart. There was no tarmac, it was always dust.
Yeah.
But he had clean shoes, he had clean slippers, ironed trousers, ironed shirt. He was always smart. The memory I have, I never saw him at any one point just because he was in the village. He was looking a certain way. He was always smart. So it doesn't matter where you are. You should be smart.
Be able to make that work. Now, Captain Miss Math, please tell us about yourself, your services, and then much later on, I want you to give different pointers to 3 categories of people. I want you to talk to teachers or schools, and then I would like you to give a few pointers to the students, and then, of course, the parents. But we wanted to first to get to know you. What services do you give? Where can we find you? And all that bit.
I thought you would start with that.
No, I was crazy about
You were excited.
Yeah, I was excited. Here we go.
The excitement. Okay, I would say I'm Basemera, Stella Maris, and she's calling me Captain Miss Math because I created a math superhero that inspires learners to love math. So that superhero is about building confidence among learners, reducing fear, anxiety, and self-doubt. So we support learners who are struggling with math, and even teachers. We are helping them out with how to integrate technology in whatever they are doing,
Okay.
how to improve on what they are doing, and also how to be more adaptable and flexible. Because we see there is a new curriculum that is shaking tables of all teachers. So you're going to find that these teachers need to, a lot of them need to be trained to receive change with a more positive mindset.
Right.
Yes, so I would say greetings to Victoria's Education Services.
Okay.
Because we have worked with their teachers, the whole of last year we were working with their teachers, and they were a very, very good place to work.
Okay.
The teachers were very cooperative, and I don't know. It's not an advert, but that's what I saw.
Yeah.
It's a very good environment for the teachers and the students.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then here comes the book, and I like that you talk about you assisting, because you're only one, and there are a zillion students out there. So I like how you are empowering other teachers so that they can be able to create that dream that you have. So we have the book here with us, The Rise of Captain Miss Math. And I like how we get to fill in some of these things, and there's a different thing. They say, how can you use the break it down trick to solve problems step by step? So there's reflection, questions, there are stories to it, the next step in the journey they take you through, and then now you have to go down and answer those questions. Tell us about the book.
So this is an idea I had for so long. Actually, the original idea was different.
Okay.
It was supposed to be specifically math topics, but then I reflected upon what I do. Every time I meet a student for the first time, I want to understand what is the root cause of that math problem you have.
Right.
Because some people come, my child is failing math, their child is failing math, but then the actual cause of that failure, you don't know it.
Right.
So I go deep and find out what exactly could be wrong. Then I realized a lot of times learners fail because of the mindset.
Yeah.
It is the confidence that is lacking. And when you look so deeply, we do a lot of training on pedagogy. Pedagogy is basically how you teach. We do a lot of training on pedagogy, the actual content. But when it comes to building confidence of the learner, when it comes to the emotional part of the math learner, we leave it behind a lot of times. We expect you to just show up and be resilient.
Yes.
But these are children we are looking at. So I sat down, I said, no, before I take these children to fractions, before I take them to calculus, before I take them to algebra, they need to first be in the right state of mind. So I had that idea lingering around my mind for years, trying to look, I kept looking for the missing piece, because I kept thinking there's a missing piece. Then I got a chance to go for the Trevor Noah Foundation Fellowship.
Okay.
It's called the Education Changemakers in Nairobi. I stayed at Kenyatta University for a month. And we're basically looking at educational problems in Africa and how to fix them. So we had a design thinking challenge whereby we're supposed to come up with an educational solutions which you can even apply tomorrow. Should you win. So I'm like, okay, I didn't come thinking I would do this. And then I tried to Google in my mind. I'm like, what can I do? And then I remembered there's something that has been lingering in my mind for a long time. I said, let me pitch this and see what happens.
You know, when I used to see you post it, I had no idea that the book would be this. I like that it goes deeper, like you seek what is within before you can bring what is without with your students. So that is something quite impressive. Well done, and congratulations on that. So
thank you.
What words do you have for a parent who is watching you right now, who thinks, you know what, we have thrown everything to this child, math just ain't cracking?
Now, first of all, self-belief is very important.
Okay.
Self-belief and encouragement. Encourage that child. Even if deep down in your heart you know you don't have that much hope, just tell them, I believe in you. You have no idea what those words can do to the mind of the child, because the whole point is starting with a positive mindset.
Yeah.
As long as you're positive about something, you can always push that child to resilient heights you don't even know. Secondly, allow the child to make mistakes. Don't make mistakes look like, even you did mistakes.
Yes.
Why are you making it look like you are Miss Perfect or Mr. Perfect? So as long as you are a parent, embrace those mistakes. Just don't allow them to become lazy because, yeah, whatever, it's mistakes. Just show them how to learn from those mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes. Because I always say, math allows, mistakes allow thinking to happen.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, mistakes allow thinking to happen. When you make a mistake, you're going to try to fix it.
Yeah.
If you came in today and maybe your shoe broke, you're going to say, okay, maybe next time I need to come with an extra pair.
Yes.
So that is learning from the mistake of moving with only one pair of shoes.
Yes.
And then maybe you're thinking a nail cutter is for chopping nails only. And then maybe you also have a shoe mishap. And then you realize that nail cutter can just cut off the extra strands and then make it look similar to the other shoe, and then you fix the problem. So a mistake has happened, but it has allowed thinking to take place.
Yeah.
So embrace mistakes. Let them struggle a bit. It's called productive struggle.
Do you know what I was thinking about? When you say allow thinking happen, of course, even reflecting back on your book, that it gives this person a chance to think for themselves after they have read the story. Now you're trying to help them break down what they have understood from that. It reminds me of my niece. So she is good at math, but she's still young. So there's a day, because she was so good, I was giving her big numbers, and I was trying to break it down to her, to my thinking, how she can easily understand it. So I was, and we were carrying back numbers. So when you carry a number from here, let's say it has 18, and you write 8 here, and then you carry 1 here. So I was trying to teach her my thinking.
Your way.
Yes, not breaking down. So, wow. So even as a parent, I hope you learn that even as you're helping maybe with the homework, allow them first get to understand their thinking, allow them to make the mistakes so that they can think their way out of it. Struggle a little bit, and then...
It's called productive struggle. There's what we call a learning pit. When you see the problem, you're like, I can't do this, or maybe I'm scared. And then when you start trying it, you realize things are not going as planned, and then you go in that pit.
Yeah.
That pit is where you're like, I give up.
We have to go, but social media, are you on social media? How do people find you and get in touch?
You can just search my name, Basemera Stella Maris.
Okay, well,
Yes.
you have a
So
website.
LinkedIn, you can go on LinkedIn, search my name. You can go on X, search my name. You can go Facebook, search my name. On TikTok, I'm Captain Miss Math. Yes.
Okay, so as we close, we had a few people who guessed the sound, and allow me read through very fast. There's a praise God. It's a sound that indicates that an unexplained noisy activity is taking place. Esther Nabatanzi, no, that is not the sound. It is quite defined. And then Mimi Boyogerere, and the sound is of a parent literally having a conversation with children. Good morning, the same number is registered. No, 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 it isn't. That is not the parent having a conversation with a child. So tomorrow the money will be at 190,000 Ugandan shillings. We hope you've had a thing or two to learn from Stella Basemera this morning, Captain Miss Math. But for any other questions, you can always send us through a message, and we'll help you get in touch with her. For now, we have to say goodbye, and see you tomorrow. Take care and be kind.